Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's Empowering You training. Tonight, we are going to be talking about the simple basics that work. Not just simple basics, but these basics we're going to talk about tonight are the proven basics that work. Now, my name is Stacey Wallace. I'm a social executive with Solavei, and tonight I am privileged and blessed to be joined by Ricardo Gloria, social connector, Laura Wells, who I know she hated me to put that social thousandaire on there, but here in any second, she is going to be popping over that social connector marker. So we're going to be huge in celebrating her in our Empowered Living group. But tonight we are all very honored to be able to bring to you some information that we believe will alter the course of your business. Now, if you are in our Facebook group, it's at facebook.com/groups/empowered living network. If you were in there, then you saw today we posted, don't miss tonight's webinar. If you have been doing the wrong things and you want to know how to do the right things in order to get the right results, then this is the webinar for you. Whether you've been involved for a week or whether you've been involved for a year, tonight we are going to share with you the things that are working right across the board, especially from our top member perspective, the folks that are the top recruiters, top enrollers, top social shares, but most importantly, the folks that have the most happy customers. What we love about Solavei is out offering a true value proposition. We've got literally thousands upon hundreds of thousands of people that have joined just for mobile service, not necessarily looking to share with anybody. And then we've got a group of people that are saying, wow, I get the big vision of Solavei, and I love the fact that I can actually save and share. So we've got those folks, and certainly tonight, this webinar is created for those of you who want to be power sharers within Solavei and you want to be able to maximize your efforts and really see the results of building a solid network. So without further ado, I want to just welcome Ricardo Gloria. Are you there with us?
Yes, good night. How's everybody doing?
We're doing awesome, Ricardo. Glad that you are with us. Laura, are you with us?
I am, and I'm closer to the mic. How's everybody doing? Hey, guys.
We're doing great, Laura. Well, tonight, before we jump into our training, there was a couple of things that I want to cover, just kind of housekeeping. You guys, I want to just remind you that we are on the road supporting your networks. As a team, multiple leaders from across the board of Solavei coming together to form something called Social Commerce University. Now, what this is going in for a full day, all day Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., giving in-depth, meaty, no hype training to help you build massive networks within Solavei. These are certainly not for just customers. We're not encouraging you just to bring out all your customers to these. We want you to make sure that you're bringing out those folks who are our power sharers, because what we're going to be doing is breaking it down and giving you the resources, the tools, and the concepts that are working best for people across the board. Now, if you want to find out more about the Social Commerce University and how you can actually get registered, then we encourage you to go to empoweredliving.biz/university, and you can check out exactly what events are available in your area and how you can register for them right on the spot. So make sure you do that. Go to empoweredliving.biz/university. So here's where we're going to begin, guys. Ricardo and Laura, we want to talk tonight about how Solavei is simple. It's this simple. You save, you earn, you're the billboard. So clearly, you all have heard the value proposition that Solavei is shifting dollars from the advertisers and putting them directly into the hands of our members, the people. Ricardo, I know today you and I were talking about how we want to make this a short and simple webinar that brings people back to the basics. Let's look at Solavei's mission. Ricardo, what does this mission mean to you?
I've always said, Stacy, this mission that we have right now, it's pretty much self-explanatory when you read this. And however, what we've noticed is that a lot of times uh, our members tend to go beyond, just this when we try to make commerce less expensive and even profitable. That's pretty much it, guys. I mean, and that's what we wanted to go over tonight because we were talking about it, and I know that there is tons and tons of new members out there wanting to do this. However, sometimes they even get frustrated because they said nobody wants to join, nobody wants to do this, and that's when we know you're going past this statement. That's when we know you're not only offering to save money, but you're offering the business. And to us, the mission itself, when we say make it less expensive, the profitable part, just like we see scratch off, then it comes optional. And I think if that's what we're trying to get across to customers, that's where we should stick, at least at the beginning. At least that's what's been working for us for the past 12 months, Stacy. Just sticking to offering the same service that they're getting or a better service for less money.
Absolutely. Well, I know you and I were talking about keep it simple, and folks that pop on and say, "Man, can you help me get my first trio?" And I think it cannot be emphasized enough how important it is to keep it simple. If you're going into, more information than necessary on the front side, then you're probably working yourself out of the value proposition. The value proposition, let me go back up, is that Solavei is simple. It's simple mobile service that you get for less money. The great part about the company is they're even giving you a shot to earn while you save. So the great part about that is if you go into too much of that, people are going to think that Solavei is some type of direct sales, multi-level marketing company. And guys, it's not. That's not what Solavei is building. What Solavei is building is a social commerce network that spans across the board and encompasses, in fact, the only thing that is even comparable to any type of levels is the fact that Solavei rewards you for the people you bring into the business. And beyond that, it's your overall network. No different than if you had a Facebook account. It's just about numbers, and that's what you want to see. I talked to somebody today, and his name was John, and I was telling him, it's very simple what Solavei offers. It's kind of like T-Mobile back in the day when they said Fab Five, go get your favorite five. Well, what was that? Well, all they were doing is trying to influence you to go get your friends. Did they reward you? No. Did they pay you? No. Did they give you a discount if you got five? No. All they were doing was creating a big campaign that actually cost millions and millions of dollars that they paid to advertisers to launch that. And if you remember, Carrot Top was one of the guys, one of the big name people that they had behind that whole campaign. Well, Solavei, believe it or not, it's very similar. We're just asking you to go get your friends and family. The difference is instead of paying some famous face or some big billboard or commercial, we are going to reward you. Solavei actually puts those dollars back into the hands of the people. So it really is that simple. Now, Laura, I know that you are the queen of Keep It Simple. And Ryan Wirch, our CEO, he listed off 6 very simple questions. In fact, he kept it so simple, his 8-year-old son can do this. So, Laura, I'm going to let you run through these 6 simple questions and tell us how important are these. Now, obviously, Solavei and I and you and Ricardo and none of the leaders, none of us suggest you using a script. So please don't make these 6 things a script. But look at these 6 simple questions and what they are. They're leading questions that can help you engage in conversation, whether you're on an elevator, whether you're standing at the checkout at Walmart, whether you're sitting by somebody at a baseball game. These are 6 simple leading questions that can help you connect with somebody and create a relationship. Laura, talk to us about these 6 simple questions.
Yeah, in these questions, I think it's really important that everybody kind of uses as more of like a guide. It's sort of like a roadmap of the direction of the conversation, that you want it to have that flow. Obviously, you want this to be in your own language, so if you don't speak this articulately, you don't want to just regurgitate what's on the screen. What if you could get unlimited voice, text, and data for $49 a month or free? If you don't talk like that, don't talk like that. Use it in, the sense of your own conversation. And I think it's really important, too, that people, everybody is different. People are people no matter what the situation. So you've got to start with the relationship part of it first. If it's been 4 years since you've talked to somebody, obviously the very first question you ask them is not going to be, do you have a mobile phone? So engage in relationships first. Everybody needs to be treated differently, but this is kind of the path that you want the conversation to flow to keep it as simple as possible. A confused mind will always say no. So what I like to try and remind myself to do, because I'm just like everybody else, when I get excited, I say too much. So if you're that way as well, what you want to do is always keep reminding yourself, I only need to tell them what they need to know. I want to leave them room to ask me about the things that they want to know. So these simple questions will kind of guide you in that and tell them what they need to know. But the more answers they give you, the more you will know kind of the direction of the conversation as it needs to be.
Excellent. And what I love about this is if you look at these, how simple it is. There are going to be some times where you don't have a lot of time. And I can look at, for example, is when I'm on the elevator and I see someone, I look, what do people do? They either watch the numbers or they're looking at their phone. It's an awesome connection to go, hey, I like your phone. Who's your provider? You might think that's a weird question, but what's weird is standing in an elevator and not saying anything to somebody. Obviously you're not going to go, hey, tell me about your kids in an elevator. So you're going to have to go for a little bit more direct connect. If you have time, make the connection, get to know the people. That's why I want to provide you tools like this just to help you think outside of your personal box. Now, we're going to go through this. If you look at the top of this slide, it says invite, follow up, enroll. Those are three things that you're going to find predominant in the Solavei marketing kit, which is now available that you guys can tap into. In fact, we're going to start doing some giveaways in the Empowered Living group. And what we're going to do is I think our first giveaway needs to be one of those new marketing kits. So stay tuned. Guys, we're going to be doing some really cool things coming up here over the next 90 days. And I'm very excited and honored to be able to see some of you guys win some of those things that are going to help support your business. But even if you go right now and you order one through support, then what you're going to be able to see is throughout the verbiage of that marketing kit, you're going to see invite, follow up, enroll as a part of the process. Now, what does that mean? Well, invite, we want you to be able to talk to more people. So what we're going to do here real quick is we're going to look at what does that mean to invite? It means fill your pipeline. Now, some of you, now remember again, tonight, I'm not talking to you as just a customer of Solavei. If you're here and you're just thinking you're going to learn about our service and our network, that's not what this call is. I'm training folks along with my comrades here, my confidants, Ricardo and Laura, and I know we got James Linhart and others on the call with us tonight. Tonight, we're training you how to go out and socially share Solavei with others. So what does that mean? Well, I can tell you right now, Laura Wells is one of our top enrollers in the company. So every time we do a contest internally, with our leadership group, she's blowing it out of the water. We have these crazy games we play. So she'll like in a week or 2 weeks sign up 15 people, right? Today we had a guy named Alan Taylor that signed up like over 40 people in the last 2 weeks. We've got some crazy enrollers in this company. Well, here's the cool thing. Unless it's a dealer that has a storefront, someone like a Laura, who's just an ordinary gal that works out of her home, that has a passion for people and loves to be on Facebook, Laura basically fills her pipeline every day. So when she signs up a trio in a week or 2 trios in a week, she's not doing that because of the people she talked to this week. She's doing that because of the people she has been talking to over the last 6 months. So filling your pipeline is really, really important. Ricardo, I'm going to bounce this over to you and let you take us through these next few things, little points that are important when it comes to connecting with people, inviting them, and getting them in your pipeline.
Well, guys, pretty much when you're outside anywhere, there's really never a wrong way of sharing Solavei. I think the only really wrong way is not to share it. And when you take that to heart and you out either at the gas station, at the marketplace, or at church, anywhere, you want to just share, share, share. And when you have it like that and you get used to it, after the first few times, maybe a few rejections, and you start polishing yourself, because we all start kind of rusty, kind of, what do I do? How do I tell them? all you got to do is share, share, share. Where it says share with a lot of people, that's exactly what it means. Now, on this right here, um, we know that we've talked about this before, Stacy, and I'm glad we're gonna bring it up again because I remember last year, Stacy, or at the beginning of the year, you were telling us what's your best approach to people, especially when you don't have a lot of time. Well, if you got 60 seconds or less and you're sharing with a lot of people, all you need to do is, what kind of phone is that? Oh man, how much you pay? And before you know it, that person is telling you more than what you want to hear. And then you say, well, can I get your email address? Let me send you some information because I bet you I can save you 40, 50%, maybe more of what you're paying right now. So pretty much get an email address, walk away, and send in some information. Obviously, when you're doing that on the street, it's with strangers. But then again, if we have a phone, we easily have at least 100 people or more that we can talk to or use our phone to call every time. When you pull that list, don't leave it on your phone because a lot of times we think that by having it on our contacts, it's going to be easier to get a hold of them. Well, when you actually make a list and keep track of who you called, what did they say? Did they answer the phone? Did they not? Did you leave a message? Do you have to call him back? Making a list of 100 people or more is always going to help you on how to keep track. We're talking about webinars, phone calls, trainings, any kind of events. You gotta have the opportunity to go out there and share with them. Once you get out there, don't go just to have a good time or hang out. Take advantage because that's what we're doing. We're just networking and sharing again with lots of people. This number four goes back to what I said a little while ago. You don't have to spend 5, 10, 15 minutes. Guys, if you're spending 10, 15, 20 minutes trying to pull the compensation plan, the corporate team and everybody else in between, you're saying too much. When you really just go down to say, man, I remember when I used to pay that much, and you know what? Now I'm only paying like $20 out of pocket or something like that. First thing they're gonna say, what company is that? Who'd you switch to, or what kind of service you have? And that's when you want to say, you know what? Give me your email and I'll send you some info. Give me your number and I'll send you a text. If they don't want to give you their email or they don't have one, get a phone number and send them a text, send them a link, send them some information, and walk away from there. Because, like Laura said, it's very easy to get excited and spill the beans, guys. So that's what we don't want to do here. We don't want to say too much, talk too much, where when by the time you get done talking, you talk too much, and especially when you see their face thinking, you know what, it's one of those things. It's one of those multi-level things. I don't even want to get involved. And trust me, as much as they need the savings, we just don't got spoiling them because not only they're not going to get the service, but they're not going to be one interested on the business either because you just got done telling them too much information. So when you wanna just tell them that you have a great service. And personally, I want to share a story. I had a guy the other day, and he said, "I'm with so and I'm paying so much, and I got 2 gigs of internet and unlimited talk and text, and I think I'm okay because the company's great and they've done me good and blah blah blah." And I said, "Well, I'll tell you what, I got the same value because we give you unlimited talk, text, and data. But I'm gonna throw an extra 2 gigs. I'm gonna give you a couple extra gigs because that's the offer we give you, and it's for less. It's $49 a month. When you put that value just as much as they like it or more, and you lower their price, now they're liking it already. You don't even need to say we're gonna pay you for recruiting or inviting people or nothing like that. Just put that value up there and say, our service is just like that one, even better. We're just going to charge you less because that's the kind of company we have. So we put the value behind it. People are going to be more interested. And obviously, the relationship, I mean, that's just a plus. And I was telling the group the other day, what I do is even if the person is not interested on Solavei, or even if the person just wants to kind of get a little bit of info, I still connect with them on Facebook. And I'm telling you guys, that's what we do. We connect with people. I tell them, you know what? If you don't have your email or whatever, you have Facebook, don't you? Oh yeah, I got Facebook. Hey, let's hook up. Let's become friends on Facebook. So I friend them on Facebook. I send them some info. They might be liking it, they might not, but they're already my friend on Facebook. They're not gonna delete me because I'm just another friend. And trust me, guys, when you share every day and you stay on it, you don't even know who you friended yesterday or last month that's watching you. And before you know it, you have tenderized that person that you're going to get a phone call or a private message saying, hey, Ricardo, you friended me at Walmart or you friended me at the restaurant or whatever, and I've been watching, and I think I'm ready now. Ready for what? Well, to get the service. And I also want to learn a little bit more about the business because I know you can make money. I've been watching your post. So the connection and the relationship always has to come first. A lot of people can get phone service anywhere, and a lot of times for less money because they don't even look at the value. But they cannot get a relationship anywhere. They have to have a connection with an actual human being, to start building like a relationship. And when you start talking to them like a friend, because you really care about the person and want to share with them, it goes a long way. So relationship and the connection is definitely a big plus, Stacy.
Excellent. Well, I'm loving as you're talking, Ricardo, the numbers of our webinar are going up, up, up. So that tells me that the people are loving what they're hearing. They're contacting their friends and getting more people on. I'm also getting private messages right now. It's pretty cool. I've got folks telling me they love this. They're so excited that we are bringing out this information because we haven't talked this basic for a long time. I think sometimes us as leaders, we forget that what we were doing a year ago, the webinars that we did a year ago, there's folks joining every single day. They need this basic information. We need to get it out there, keep it out there. So I'm real excited about that. I've also got a guy online right now that I'm doing exactly what you're saying. I met him. He was walking out by the tennis courts, and I connected with him and just told him, hey, you can come out and join us anytime you want to play. He's texting me right now saying, hey, why aren't you playing tonight? I told him we're closing a really big month with my company. What kind of company? He asks. I said, hey, check it out. I'm sending them www.com forward, the solavei.com. So while I'm doing this webinar, guys, I'm actually filling my pipeline. So that's how you got to think. It's nonstop. I don't do Solavei. Solavei and me are one. My kids don't do Solavei. We live Solavei. We love what Solavei is. It's obviously become not just a part of our family household. It's a part of our lives. We love our Solavei family. We don't just do webinars because we have to do webinars. We do webinars because this is like Sunday afternoon dinner for me. Getting with the family, connecting, sharing, helping the family out. Of course, you guys know I love our mastermind calls. Many of you guys are on different calls with your leaders. That's where we get to connect. Solavei, when you think about filling your pipeline, what you're looking at is building a bigger family. And the benefit is we all share in savings together. Obviously, Solavei Marketplace gives us an even bigger opportunity for sharing and saving and just helping ordinary people get ahead financially. So when we talk about invite, follow up, enroll, once you've started getting through that invite process, you're really filling the pipeline. You're not concerned if people say yes. You just want to make sure the world knows about Solavei and they know it from you. Sometimes people are going to say yes, they're going to love it, they're going to think it's a great idea. Sometimes they're going to sit around and they're going to wait forever. I've got folks even that are on this webinar right now. You guys know who you are. I've been talking to you forever, for long times, and you're just now starting to get your little feet wet in Solavei. Yet you're brilliant marketers. Well, that's the cool thing. For those of you who have never marketed before, maybe you don't know that patience is a big, 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 big advantage for the folks that are truly wanting to be able to grow and to develop and to build a network that's going to last. So if you can have patience in filling your pipeline, don't get discouraged if you've been involved for a few weeks or even a couple of months and you're like, I still don't feel like I have the mojo. Listen, have a 3 to 5 year game plan. If you've been doing the same thing over and over and over again and not getting the right results, shift. Contact a leader, contact someone that is in your personal upline and say, hey, can you help me? And let them reach down and help you tweak whatever's not working. Okay, let's move on. We want to make sure that you also move to the follow up part. And this is where I'm going to talk to Laura here for just a second, because Laura, you and I, we have long discussions about the follow-up process, because especially you and I, we do a lot of online marketing, we do belly-to-belly marketing, we do a lot of Facebook connections. But more, when I say online marketing, what I mean is we're just on having social conversations on Facebook. We're not buying and selling leads. That's not really the way we build our business. But it doesn't matter if you're connecting with somebody, like Ricardo said, you're talking to somebody, get the email. Here's what you don't want to do. Don't get the email, stick it in your purse, and never input it into your outreach manager. When you get the contact, immediately, I can't tell you how many times I've made this mistake. I fill up my little wallet with a bunch of people I meet, taxi cab drivers, and then when I go to put them in, I'm like, I don't remember who they are. You want to make sure, go immediately, even if it's your instant invite on your phone, on your app, make sure you put those in so they can be in your constant, your contact tracker. Now, we obviously have a full training how to use contact manager, meaning outreach manager, as well as Share Solavei. Share Solavei is going to give you autoresponders that actually touch those people ongoing with emails throughout a 30-day or 60-day, 90-day, whatever you set it up to be, process. So, Laura, when we talk about follow-up, what is most important when they think about following up?
I think the most important thing is absolutely number one, is consistency. I think the worst mistake that I see people doing is that they're inconsistent in their message, number one, but they're also inconsistent in their timing. I see people that that share Solavei online once a month or once every 2 months, because of that fear. But they don't want to say too much. They don't want their whole Facebook feed to be all Solavei. And while that's right to a certain extent, what happens though is that, and just in terms of branding, I was actually telling somebody this earlier this morning on another training, is that, we all know what Coca-Cola is. But Coca-Cola still advertises. They still have commercials and billboards and magazine advertisements and stuff. Everybody knows what Coke is. But it's the branding, it's the consistency of their message, and that's what's most important. So for me, when I'm posting things on Facebook or Twitter, I'm trying to create curiosity. I'm not trying to digitally vomit all of the information about Solavei on my Facebook page. I'm really just broadcasting a message, letting people know who are following me. Yes, I'm still involved in Solavei. Yes, I still love it. Yep, I'm still saving and earning money. And yep, I'm still willing to tell you about it. It's just a basic broadcast message. When we're following up, for me personally, I like to think in terms of, what do I want not only myself to do, what do I want the next member that I refer to Solavei to do, but what do I want thousands of people to do? And so when I'm looking at follow-up tools, I want to use the things that Solavei provides, because that's the easiest thing for people to duplicate. I don't want to use tools for myself that are complicated or expensive, although I could, because I'm pretty tech savvy. I could use that stuff and no big deal. But the thing is that I don't want other people to spend a ton of money on systems and buying leads and all of that kind of stuff, because I want people to think and to know, man, this is as easy as handing out a coupon. Anybody can do this, because that's the truth. So, and then of course, third, and this is the most important part, a statistic that I read, it's over 70% of people who are interested in a product, meaning you created the curiosity and they are actually interested in what you are promoting, over 70% of interested people are never followed up with. So number 3 is very important. And it's the following up part that kind of sends it into a home run, because keeping in touch with people, it's not only that, the promotion is about to end or the sale's about to stop or whatever. It's a different kind of following up. It's those warm touches that say, hey, I just saw this press release that came out about Solavei, about Ryan Wirch winning Business Executive of the Year, and it made me think about you, because we just had a conversation last month about, you were asking questions about the leadership of the company. Whatever you can pull, you want to use those kinds of tools and just say, hey, I saw this and it made me think about you. I just wanted to check in on you and see how you're doing. They already know if you've done a really good job in, number 1, being consistent, number 2, using the follow-up tools. If you've done a really good job on those 2 things, just simply posting on their Facebook wall saying happy birthday, they're going to immediately associate you with, oh, I meant to ask her a question about Solavei. You don't even have to say anything about Solavei sometimes if you've done a really good job with number one and number two. They all play together.
Laura, that's great. I'm sitting here, I'm reading through the questions, and that actually I'm just getting a lot of positive responses. Loving, again, the numbers continue to climb. I love that you guys are obviously sharing this webinar with others. Remember, we're going to also have it posted at empoweredliving.biz/webinars. That's one of the questions, is where can this be um, watched afterwards, that you're wanting to use it with your teams as folks get started. Feel free to go and take a look at it, empoweredliving.biz/webinars. We will have that posted probably tomorrow. I see that Thomas Malone, James Linhart, other leaders are on, Kathleen Clore. I just reached out and saw, and we've got two very, very special leaders that are on right now that the minute I saw them pop on, I was so stoked. Many of you may or may not know Brian and Kim Pickett as original founding members of Solavei, and great leaders, great friends of mine. I love them dearly. And I know that right now they are so passionate about Solavei. Wanted to just pop in. Brian, are you there with us? Let me see if I can get them pulled on here. Love to get their feedback on this. Brian, I've got you unmuted. If you can pop in, that would be awesome. Okay, I will keep you unmuted. That way, when you can get on there, that would be fantastic. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep moving forward. Invite, follow up. Well, where does that leave us? That leaves us figuring out how do we go through that process seamlessly so that people can utilize the tools that have already been created by Solavei. So what we're going to do is I put together some slides that will just really break it down as basic, simple as I can. Ricardo, Laura, feel free to jump in at any time that you want to add to this. But we want you guys to just see your enroll and follow-up process as easy as 1, 2, 3 home run, right? First base, second base, third base, home plate. But when you watch baseball, something that's really, really cool is no one can get to second base lest first they swing the bat, right? You're not going to just get put on second base. You're not going to, there's not any free passes. Nobody just because they look good or because they're got special privileges. You got to do the same thing everyone else does. So there's some very basic things out of the gate. Obviously, when you get started, you got to be a member. You need to get enrolled with Solavei. You're going to get your purple pay card. You want to get your SIM card activated. And then you want to go out and you want to go to first base. What is first base? You want to start inviting people every single day, telling them about Solavei, being casual with it, not being high pressure. This is not selling, this is sharing. And when you go to do that, you want to make sure that you lead them to the best tools and resources that allow you to not have to do the work. Now, Solavei has set up some really simple tools to help you do that. Specifically, Outreach Manager. If you're not familiar with Outreach Manager, then you need to go to mysolavei.com. What that is your back office. That's what you have, and there are a number of tools back there to help you share Solavei with your friends and family and people in your social graph. So mysolavei.com, you can actually tap in and look up there. You'll see it'll say Outreach. You want to click on Outreach, and right there are going to be a lot of videos that you can socially share by email or by Facebook and Twitter. You can go in there and share them with your friends. Now, when you send an email, we encourage you to customize it. Even though Solavei gives you some really cool little quotes and things like that in there, we don't say use those. Please, people, I got this guy on the tennis court. He's still texting me. He's wanting me to send him an email now. I'm loving it. I'm double tasking right now. I'm multi-sourcing myself. But I'm not going to go and just send him one of those canned emails out of Outreach Manager. I'm going to say, hey, it was great connecting with you. It was great having a chance to meet you on the court. Here's the company that I'm involved with. Love you to take a look at it. You guys, if there's a way that I can, encourage you to do this, I want you to make sure you customize those. Now, Laura, I'm going to bounce it back to you, and I'm going to let you go to pace number 2.
Stacy, This is Ricardo. Let me jump on here real quick as far as customizing.
Yeah.
That's very that's very important, guys, because just to give you an idea, the other day I talked to a young lady, and she's a single mother, and she was telling me how much she struggles with her kid, and the timing, and the money, and the whole situation. So what I did when I went out there, and I started communicating through outreach and then on text and stuff, one simple thing that I did, I said, hey, hope things get better with your son. We got something here that can help you save money on your cell phone. Let me know, and let's stay in touch. Let's friend on Facebook, whatnot. Well, I'll tell you what, it goes a long way when you get personal like that, because the only reason she joined and the only reason she got involved is because she said, I would have never thought you would have paid that much attention to actually speak about my son, because nobody ever worries about him. Nobody ever, I mean, as much as I love him and talk about him and whatever, it's just like I'm talking to the dead. And for you to say that you hope my son, situation gets better and my economical situation gets better for because of the relationship with my son, blah blah blah. She said that really touched me. She said, and I want to be part of this because I'm dealing with real people. It's not a machine or an automated message that's reaching out to her. It's actually somebody that cares about her, and goes a long way when you get personal. Same thing with, in this case, cab driver, Stacy. When you get a cab driver and you're going to give them the information, those people that we met in Seattle, those cab drivers, remember? All I did is said, man, I appreciate the great ride, the great service, we look forward to connecting, so on and so forth. They're happy that you remember their name. They're happy that you remember where you met them, as opposed to just a computer sending them a message. So customizing really goes a long way.
Yeah, and I'm getting a text, Rob. I got your text here, and yeah, the way we're saying customize it is the actual text that's in the box is a canned message. Obviously, Solavei does that for folks who don't know what to say, but we really encourage you to customize that. Now, when we talk about customizing video, that's going to happen through step number 2, and that's share Solavei. That gives you more options. It's a little bit different type of marketing tool that actually allows autoresponders. It's a lead capture system. Um, they offer a 14-day trial. This is 100% Solavei. It's not an outside system outside of Solavei. That's the only reason why we endorse it, is because Solavei has completely put their stamp on it. It's their system. They're driving the list. They're driving everything about that. So you can go to sharesolavei.com and check it out. We encourage you to get the $1 trial of the Pro system so that you can see all of the benefits. We're actually working with Share Solavei right now to actually break it down some. We feel there's too many benefits. We'd like to scale it back so that folks are only using really the first couple of things that are offered. Because really the best part of Share Solavei is the follow-up system. The fact that you can actually have somebody in that system and it automatically touches them with autoresponders as many days as you want to and as many autoresponders as you want to write. Now, Solavei has written 8 autoresponders on your behalf to touch people, and you can spread that out through 30 days, 60 days, however long. In the original one, it's 8 emails that are sent over 30 days. I've got another post here. Somebody saying, Stacy, I feel like maybe I'm posting too much. I've got folks that are now telling me they don't want to be a part of what I'm doing. Am I posting too much? If you're getting that kind of response, I would say that you're probably either saying too much, posting too often, and people are just feeling like you're pushing or selling them something. You certainly don't want to do that. What you want to do is make sure you make the information available. And I'll tell you what, guys, last week I got an email. Actually, it was a private message on Facebook from somebody. Hey, Stacy, what are you doing? And because I knew them, I responded, and they immediately said, hey, look, I'm raising money for blah, blah, blah. Haven't talked to these people in 3 years. And it comes to me the same way it would if you don't have a relationship with somebody or you haven't talked to them about life lately. To just go out and ask them to be your customer is a little creepy and it's a little weird. So I would encourage you to really consider who you're talking to. Have you reached out to them lately? Have you found out whether or not they have cancer? Have you found out if they've got new children? Have you found anything out about them, or are you just going after a sell? So really become personal with that. Laura, I'm going to let you take us on to third base. I know I covered Share Solavei there, and it's probably one of your favorites anyhow, is as you invite people, you get them into Outreach Manager. Now, if you're not using Outreach Manager, guys, you are missing a major, ginormous tool that Solavei has literally spent millions of dollars, and it will become a perfected tool as years to come. You will see this will be such a robust tool. Outreach Manager, lead them to Share Solavei. In every customized post I put in Outreach Manager, I say, hey, it was great connecting with you at the tennis court, for example. Love the fact that you asked me about the company. You can check it out at solavei.com/Stacey Wallace 5. You can also check out my full video tour if you want to learn more about how we actually earn with Solavei. Go to, and I give them my Share Solavei site so they can actually get in that autoresponder loop. Now, eventually, I believe those two systems will be one. It's just a matter of time. But for right now, we've got the two systems, one internally within my Solavei and one externally on sharesolavei.com. And that leads us to what happens when they're in both of those systems. Then you need to continue the follow-up. Laura, tell us how to take them home.
Thank you. And yeah, and one quick little thing about Outreach Manager, and even Share Solavei too, just really quick tip. You guys, you can't break it by testing it out yourself. I think it's really important to go into your site and send yourself an Outreach Manager email. Send yourself a test message and make an extra Gmail account or something and send yourself a message to see what people are actually getting. Because I'll tell you, a lot of people don't realize it already fills in their first name. It already says, hi, Susie. So if you're sending an email and that personal message and you're in there typing, hey, Susie, the email that they're going to receive is going to say, hi, Susie, hey, Susie, and then your message. So test it out, and same thing with Share Solavei. Go in there, fill out your information on your own form, put yourself on your autoresponders. That way you're going to be able to see what your people see. And so you're going to see, hey, maybe I should tweak up those autoresponder emails so they sound more like me. A lot of us have just a different style of communication, so it really is important that that sounds like you, and that's going to make it even more personal. So, and that brings us to, the whole follow-up on making contact. There are a lot of ways to reach out and follow up with people in a warm relationship way. Obviously, the very best way to follow up with somebody is a phone call. Now, sometimes the phone feels like it weighs 25 pounds, and it's scary. But if you have a reason to call someone, the easiest reason you have to call someone is you're giving them something, or you're doing them a favor. If I handed you $1,000 and I said, you only have 12 hours to give this to somebody, no strings attached, you have no problem picking up the phone and calling all your friends because you're giving something to them, no strings attached. Solavei is that no strings attached gift. You're giving them something that doesn't have any strings attached. They don't have to refer people to get this good deal. They simply get the great deal. You're doing them a favor. So the phone needs to be weightless. Pick up the phone. At the very least, send them a text message. We're not a mobile service company right now. We're offering cell phone service. So send them a text message to remind them, hey, check your email. I just sent you that email that I promised to send to you, when we were at the tennis court this afternoon. Just wanted to make sure you got it. I went ahead and sent it. Be sure to check your spam folder. Sometimes, email's wonky, and sometimes it lands in there. For me, my playground is Facebook. I'm on Facebook. If I'm sitting on my computer, I have Facebook open. A lot of people know if I don't answer my phone, you could probably get me in a Facebook chat because it's sometimes faster that way. So if you've got people who they're always on Facebook, on the right-hand side of your Facebook screen, open up your chat window and look for those green dots next to people's names. That means they're online. Open up a chat box and say, hey, how's it going? Just noticed you're online. What's up? And follow up with them that way. The tools that are out there for us, a lot of people who are brand new and they're not quite sure, how do I share this? What do I say? I'm just nervous about saying the wrong thing. First of all, that's normal. That's natural. That's why a lot of us have put together tools and things to help you do the talking. Solavei does a really great job. They've got 1-minute videos that explain, again, all the things that people need to know. Let them watch that, then come and ask you questions. First of all, there's absolutely nothing wrong with receiving someone's question and saying, you know what, I just joined this deal too. I'm not quite sure, but let me have a couple of hours and I'm going to find out for you. There's nothing wrong with that answer. You don't have to know everything in order to share Solavei, but you do need to know the tools that are out there for you. For example, three-way calling. Edify and honor your leaders by asking them, hey, do you have a few minutes later on this afternoon? This person has watched a couple of videos. They just have a couple of questions that I'm not quite sure how to answer. Could I get you on a three-way call with me? Use the live socials. Every single Monday, there is a live vision presentation of Solavei. They're recorded. They're online 24/7. They're updated every single Monday night. Those are always available for you in the socials and the Hangouts. So use the tools, make contact. All you're responsible for is sharing and nurturing those relationships. And of course, the home run would be to refer a new member into Solavei.
Absolutely. That's awesome, Laura. You know, again, it's this simple, and we've tried to break it down, thinking as many simple ways to explain it. I've got Brian Pickett on the line with us now, and I know that this is something he's very passionate about, making it simple for folks, and a lot of experience with helping nonprofit organizations and people really get a win out of Solavei. Brian, are you there?
I am finally. Thank you, Stacy. Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear. I know you've had so much that you wanted to contribute in earlier, but please share with us your thoughts as we're going to sign off here in just a few minutes. But I wanted to make sure we got you on so that you can share with us the things that you've seen, being one of the founding members of Solavei, and how you see this helping so many people that are on tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much, and I'll be brief. Thank you. You guys have no idea the hoops Stacy had to jump through to get me on, and here's the reason why. I'm a technical babe. I have no idea. Believe me, we did not even have a Facebook when we started, if you can believe that. My wife's going to be embarrassed I told you that. But from a technical standpoint, I am the worst. And so if anyone's on the line saying, gosh, I don't think I could ever do that, I have to tell you what you heard tonight from Laura, from Ricardo, from Stacy, three things, and I'll be really brief. One, the tools are absolutely fabulous. I remember hearing about empoweredliving.business as our idea. We're going to build this wonderful community and all of these tools, and everybody's going to share, and everybody's going to be successful. And in my mind, I thought, man, wouldn't it be great if that were the case? And I can tell you a year later, that is the case. I've never seen a community come together like this. It's remarkable. And additionally, the idea of just keeping it simple. Don't say too much, you know, just a step at a time, and anyone can do it literally. And I'm embarrassed again to say this. We did not even have a Facebook page when we started. And during the course of the last year, there have been thousands and thousands connected to us because of the tools, the system, and who we really are as a company. You don't ever have to, you know, be embarrassed or afraid to mention Solavei or afraid you're going to get cast in a bad light or anything else. I can tell you absolutely with full confidence, the things you're hearing tonight are absolutely correct. They're right. They're success principles that will absolutely bring you success. And the last thing, if you have somebody in your group or in your circle that you're talking to and you think they're too old and too nerdy and they'll never catch on, they'll never do it, I'm that guy. I'm that old grouchy guy that the reason we couldn't get on earlier, we were on my wife's iPad and we couldn't figure out how to make it work. I had to use a phone. And so if you got somebody that you think can't do it, introduce them to the tools, help them to baby step into who and what we are, and follow the system that they'll find on empoweredliving.biz. And anyone that continues to do, just one thing, and I'll close with this. If you do one thing every day to help share Solavei, you're going to find success. And you're going to look, I think what Stacy said, look down the road, 3 years, 5 years. You're going to find everything that you'd like in your Solavei goals or Solavei business. So Stacy, with that, thank you so much. And the last thing, I have never had exposure to leaders like we have in this community. Leaders that are so open and so willing to help and so willing to go the extra mile to see that you have the things that you need to be successful. So thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Well, Brian, thank you so much. And I think one of the primary reasons I wanted you to really speak into this, because people hear from Ricardo and Laura and Thomas Malone, Tony Bowie, James Linhart, Roxana Hanna. You know, you hear from all of these great leaders, Kenneth Francis, and I could keep going on and on and on. You hear from all these leaders, and it's like they're talking about, I use Facebook and I'm social and I'm out there, I've got my truck wrapped, and I'm, you know, and we're all extremely hyper motivated, you know, and a lot of us very savvy in the internet. And then you hear someone like Brian say, guys, if I can do it, you can do it. And I think the cool thing about Brian and Kim is, you know what? They're not the loudest, most visible forces that you've heard, but what you see them is they're growing. And whether you do it like I do it, you guys know I have the name Princess Warrior for a reason. I'm passionate out there and I'm beating my chest, both swords drawn for the entire network. And then we've got folks that really, they are about the long term picture and they're not rushed, they're not anxious, but they're consistent. And so I just want to encourage you guys. You know, he mentioned empoweredliving.biz, and we really have created that as a team led site for any network. It doesn't matter whose team you're in. We don't want to have any member left behind. We created it so you don't have to. We're going to continue to update it so you don't have to. We're going to continue to pour resources and finances in it so you don't have to. What's great though is as you continue to scale in the company and you say, hey, I've got some ideas I'd like to see on there, then you let us know, because it really is about the best of the best proven principles. You'll see that we've got step 1, step 2, step 3 training. You can go right there to empoweredliving.biz, click on the 1, 2, 3 training, the get started training, and you can take those. We're going to be consistently over the course of the next 90 days adding more content into that website to help you guys keep it simple, keep it consistent, and really get the results that you've been looking for. You know, I just want to say thank you to our guests that were on tonight and those of you who have been listening in. We are so grateful that you've played in with us this evening. Hopefully this has been important information that will help you accelerate your results within Solavei. Tap in next week. Huge, huge announcement. We want you to be a part of it, and we want you to hear the training that's going to help you blow up the next level of Solavei. Remember, now is the time. This is the place, and you are the ones to start the revolution.